It's Sunday, May 11th, 2025. I'm Hewie Poplock, and this is the Central Florida Computer Society and the Sarasota Technology User Group, WinSig, or Windows Special Interest Group. May 11th, 2025. As I said, I'm Hewie Poplock. I'm glad you're here. And let me go ahead and we do this once a month, the second Sunday of the month. And that's today, Mother's Day. So for all of you who are or were or will be, or happy Mother's Day. And I'm glad you're here for Mother's Day. And don't forget, when Father's Day on a Sunday, you can be here too. So let's get started the usual way, and that is for me to. All right, this is Huey's WinSig webpage at huey.net/WinSig. I post this anywhere from a day to a week before the meeting, and sometimes I even add some after that. But these are articles I found in the last month dealing with either Windows or computers in general, or something that I thought you might be interested in. I try to put them in some kind of an order. Last month, I don't believe I did. But this month I have I try to put them so they're together and it makes some sense. And we try to get to the most important ones first in case we don't get down the whole list. But if you go to this webpage, all of these are links to the articles I am going to cover. So by all means, before you come to the meeting or after the meeting, if there's an article that piqued your interest, you can go to that article and then get more information about it. So the first article that we're going to cover is Microsoft is finally relented and is giving Windows 11 users a new start menu that they want. I don't think I ever voiced my opinion about that. So I I hate to see changes for the sake of changing. So let me find, let's see, I want uh, the read. I guess I got to do it this way. What happened to it? Other favorites. Looking for the reader mode. And why am I not? F9? Thank you. That's right. You're the one who told me that. There we go. Super. Got to remember that. I'm going to have to get a sticky note and put it on my screen. Okay. So if you're not happy with the Windows 11 start menu,
There you
you
go.
might be with the new one.
He's back.
But if you are happy with it, you're going to have to learn a new way of doing things. It's going to look different. I don't know if it's going to change much, but you see the all now. You got the show all up here. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Read aloud text. Uh, let's see. I think we can go one more. Oh, yeah, we can. Okay. You'll see here there's a show all, but you also can have all here and then have everything below it. They've changed some of the icons. They've made the icons smaller. Uh, just to show you, this is what it looks like now on mine. And if I do the all, it looks like this. And then there's all of what I have in the menu. So I don't know, it's got a different color to it. I think the icons are smaller. There's more things on the screen. You know what? I don't like having more things on the screen. But the start menu in Windows 11 has proved to be one of the many divisive components in the operating system. I have not heard people talking about it, but a lot of you don't use it. All you do is you put them down on the taskbar and forget about it. Uh, and so many users are unhappy about the appearance and lack of customization options. So early last month, Microsoft was planning to give Windows 11 start menu an overhaul. And now these changes have been confirmed by Microsoft, and it's going to start is getting personal. What does it mean? It was Phantom of the Earth who spotted signs of the start menu changes hidden in preview builds of Windows 11 a few weeks back. A little detective work showed that the recommended section could be disabled and a new layout provided for a new means of navigating. So it's still in the test mode. I don't have it yet, but it looks like the May update will probably contain it. So your next update, if you've been keeping up with them, should have this new menu. Um, Actually, the Windows Insiders, as of this article, still haven't had it. But some of the articles I've been reading, it sounds like it's going to be available this next month. Okay, and 1124H2 is ready for everyone except those that's for those it's not. Um, Here's the article F9. And let me make it one smaller because that's a little too big. There we go. A rollout of the 24H2 has been slow on a bumpy road. We're not far from entering 25H2, and Microsoft has just announced that Windows 11 2024 update is now broadly available. It's now a full year since the release preview was released to insiders. So let's see. Windows 11 version 24H2, also known as the Windows 11 2024 update, is broadly available. We've reached the last phase of the gradual rollout for version 24H2. If you have an eligible Windows 10 or 11 device, you can look for the update by settings, Windows update, and check for updates. I'm not going to do that, but I did do it a couple of days ago, and it was I didn't have a new one available. If your device is ready for the update, you'll see the option download and install. Note some devices temporarily may not show the update to version 24H2 if we detect an incompatibility. And why isn't it 25? I still don't understand these numberings and naming conventions. Microsoft is not the only one, but they, like ChatGPT, where they where version 4.0 is newer and more powerful than 4.5. So figure that one out. Okay, so that's that article. So if you're waiting for that, it's coming. Microsoft confirms you cannot cancel new Windows PC update. And let's go ahead and F9. Microsoft updates and upgrades are rarely out of the headlines these days, with a succession of problems for Windows 11 users, while hundreds of millions of Windows 10 users are urged to dump old for new, including their PCs in many cases. The Windows 11 has now overtaken Windows 10 in the US. It will soon do the same elsewhere. Oh, that's interesting. I'd not heard that. And so here's something to note for all new users. As reported by Windows Latest, that's a website I'll have to take a look at. I'm not familiar with it. The latest Windows update downloads even if you don't want it. Microsoft has quietly confirmed that Windows 11 24H2 has finally entered the last phase of its rollout. This means, as observed with Windows 11 23H2 or 22H2 in the past, that the last phase is when Windows 11 feature update is declared fully ready and is configured to download automatically. Let's see, this isn't for all users, but it is for devices running Home and Pro editions of Windows 11, versions 23H2, 22H2, and 21H2 that are not managed by IT departments. Microsoft says all of which will receive the update to version 24H2 automatically. The Windows latest says you'll get an alert when the upgrade is being downloaded and pending installation. And that's where things get interesting because Microsoft 11 doesn't let you cancel an upgrade when it's already downloaded. Microsoft does let you postpone updates, but there is no option to cancel one. Unless you have a good reason, let the update download and install on your PC. Backup, but keep the backups updated, not like I did, and install on your PC, such as a security backdrop where Windows is concerned that you never want to leave any update waiting or around before installing. Well, I know some of you like to wait 2 or 3 versions before you do an update. But you can run command prompts to quit the update if you must. Windows latest, let's take a look at what Windows latest is. I'm not familiar with that. So we'll open that. And it's called the Windows latest. You got Windows 11, 10, and you've got some trending articles. And here's the article. I'm going to have to bookmark this and come back to it. Actually, what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to just add it to my Evernote, and it's now added to my Evernote, so it's there. So I have that page. And tune in to the CFCS meeting directly after this WinSig meeting, and you can just stay right online. You don't even have to log out and come back in. Evernote is one of the note programs that Drew is going to talk about. So, okay, let's get back to what we have. Actually, let's stop the share and maybe have some discussion. Any comments? Questions?
Yeah, somebody mentioned that the reason that 11 is now more ubiquitous than 10 is because it downloads automatically. That's what
That,
actually happened to me. I was just trying to download the Windows 10, the last upgrade, and I let it run, and I came back and I had, damn, that's 11. It changed it without asking me first.
yep. And a lot of people are really uh, concerned if they go out, they want to buy a Windows Plus PC. In most cases, you're probably not even going to want one. And by the time it's of any use, it's going to be outdated and you're going to need one more up to date than that. So you might not need to spend a lot of money on a Windows Plus PC now, yeah, unless you're going to be using the AI that's locally, because it will run AI on websites. It's just the Plus PC is going to allow you to be able to run things locally. And whether you need that or not, I don't. I don't plan on doing that. I don't like to do that. I want it out in the cloud so it doesn't screw around with my system. And so that's what I've been doing. That's a personal thing, but that's the way I feel about it. Any other comments about it? Mike?
Yeah. First of all, is the mic okay?
Yes, much better.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very concerned about Microsoft's decision that if the update has already been downloaded, you have no choice. Usually you find out because you get a pop-up that says you need to restart your computer to complete the upgrade. I work with a number of friends. One of them's overseas, and about every 90 days I get a call, Zoom call or an email saying, I've got this problem, will you help me? And we do a remote session. Well, his recent problem was one of the Windows update bug problems where you get a black screen when you try to restart your computer. You restart 6 times, I think it is. There's a counter, and then it goes into the Windows troubleshooting blue screen. A lot of people don't know that. That's a good data point to know as well. If you can't, for any reason, can't boot and can't get into your repair screen, keep trying to reboot for up to 6 or 7 times, and it should count up and then put you into the troubleshooting screen. But we could not stop the update from updating, and we couldn't roll it back. There's also a site I think I sent you a link for that's another data point, and that is how do you uninstall an update once it's been installed? If it completes, there's a procedure in Windows system updates where you can uninstall an update should you decide to do so. But if it's stuck and hasn't completed the update and you're in this loop over and over and over, the only thing we could do eventually was to install an image backup that he had made. Otherwise, he was going to be faced wiping his disk, installing a brand new copy of Windows, and then installing all his stuff, and he had his data backed up as well. So there's, Microsoft knows they've got a quality problem. The problem is the people who are releasing updates and the people who are doing their QR may not be coordinating. And now for those people who get in this kind of a situation, they've got no choice. If you can't get out of that loop, you're going to have a good image backup. So,
and that blue screen is supposed to have a new choice there that it's supposed to be able to repair problems, but that hasn't shown up on mine. When I get a blue screen, and I get them occasionally, that box is not there that says click here and we'll try to repair and fix find out what's causing the problem and fix it.
we got as far as the box that checks, are you having problems? I think it says starting Windows, and then it goes through and scans to see if there's something it can fix. We did that, and it said, can't find any problems, try restarting and try again, that kind of thing. So we were stuck in sort of a double loop. He couldn't finish the update wouldn't finish, and he couldn't repair the startup process. So typically, yeah, you're right. Delay the installation by a couple of weeks. And by that time, if you stay up on the forums, you're going to learn about all the bugs that there are in the latest update and maybe put it off for a while until they get the next one to fix the problems.
Okay, any other comments? Go ahead, put your hand down, Mike. All right. And let's go back to our list of items. And let's see where we're at here. Yeah, the quick machine recovery, I believe that's it. Yes, this is what I was referring to. Let me F9. Microsoft launches quick machine recovery to automatically fix your Windows problems. I don't have it yet. When you get the blue screen, this is what I get without this box. And so I can click on, it's not system restore. I think there's a button that says just start Windows. And so that's what I've been doing. But this quick machine recovery lets your device search for solutions to repair itself, previously known as startup repair. And when things go wrong with a Windows 11 device, and that's more often than we'd like, downtime is not only frustrating, but also expensive. In a bid to reduce the time lost to computer issues, Microsoft has launched Quick Machine Recovery, a new automated tool for addressing problems. The tool is undergoing testing with Microsoft insiders, so it's still in a testing phase. And I thought it had been released, but apparently it has not, illustrating how the new feature is designed to take the hard work out of fixing problems. Yeah, automate everything. So if things are broke, it breaks it more. Microsoft says the tool will eventually be enabled by default for Windows 11 home devices. That would be home or pro software. But the aim is also to reduce the workload of IT departments, making it possible to have issues addressed automatically. So let's see, how does the recovery process look in the event of a widespread outage there following occurs? Device enters recovery mode. If a Windows 11 version 24H2 device encounters a critical failure, preventing it a normal boot, it enters Windows RE. And a network connection established Windows RE connects to the network using Ethernet or Wi-Fi protected access, WPA, ensuring the device can communicate with Microsoft's recovery services. Future updates will introduce additional networking configurations for broader support. Then incident analysis. Microsoft analyzes crash data from affected devices to identify patterns and pinpoint the root cause. If a widespread outage is detected, an internal response team is activated to develop, validate, and prepare a targeted remediation. Remediation rollout. In this initial release, Microsoft will deliver the remediation via Windows Update, adhering to the update policies configured on the device. Microsoft will safely roll out the remediation. And the article goes on and explains a little bit about it. The ability to disable quick machine recovery will be important for many users, but Microsoft is clearly hoping that the tool will be well received. The initial release has a handful of features, including a simulation mode to test out the recovery process before committing. So at least they're trying.
I'll just make a comment real quick. And again,
Okay.
I'm being redundant, but backup, if you've got an image backup, and I bet if we did a poll right now of everybody in attendance, there'd be a bunch that don't have image backups. So if you've got an image backup, and let's say it's only a week old, or maybe you do it every week on a Sunday and your failure's on a Monday, it's only a day old. Now you have this problem and you're waiting for remediation to have the QR department of Microsoft come up with the solution because it's widespread. Now you're out of business until they come out with it. But if you've got an image backup, you may only be 30 minutes from being back up and running again. So just saying, backup, folks, and especially
Yep. Yep. And I learned the hard way the last time about a month ago, I hadn't done an image backup and I had a problem. And I just had a pop up on my screen here. And I didn't have an image backup. And I hadn't registered it. I had purchased it, but I hadn't registered it on this computer. So I had a 4-day process of getting in touch with Acronis and getting it. It was registered to the wrong email address. So I had to get one of their technicians to institute something to transfer it from one email address to the other, and then I could register the program. So what a mess. Things seem to be easy sometimes, and it's you've got to take 3 steps back, turn around 3 times, lift your leg up twice, and then maybe it'll work. So it's just anyway. Any other comments?
Yeah, the other thing is that system restore. That thing is worse than useless. I did a comparison with system restore and restoring from a Macrium image backup. And the Macrium came through, no problem, worked fine, did it in like half an hour. The system restore thing didn't work, didn't go through, and took more than twice as long anyway. I mean, all it does is it just takes a snapshot of parts of your registry. That's not your system, and it certainly doesn't restore anything. And it doesn't copy over files. All it does is just take parts of your registry, which is completely useless.
I've
Okay.
had with System Restore Point, just one last comment. It may not be perfect, but before you do a Windows update, it's a good idea to create a System Restore Point. I think it's supposed to do it automatically for you, but I do it myself anyway. I've only once
I
ever.
usually make sure I've got a full Macrium backup because I trust
Yeah.
that a hell of a lot more than I do system restore.
Yeah, I've had one opportunity where I had to use System Restore, and I had installed some networking software that modified my somewhere in Windows, the networking, and I don't know what it did, but it prevented me from going to certain websites. And I don't know why, but I tried uninstalling everything. I tried all of my skills and nothing worked. I found out that I had a system restore point that was a week old, and I told it to go back and do it. This was on a Windows 10 machine, and it literally took about 6 or 7 hours to restore my machine back to the way it was a week earlier. And when it finished, it was pristine. The errors were all gone.
But you could have done the same thing in less than half an hour with Macrium Reflect as opposed to 6 hours with System Restore.
It's if you have an image, you have to
Yeah,
do it.
you just set it to do it I have mine do it at 8 o'clock every morning. Takes like 2 minutes to do incremental.
Yeah, I got to get into that. All right, I'm done.
Okay, let me share again. And we'll close this one out. And April 2025 Patch Tuesday updates are now available. The April, now not May. May has not come, but I put this in because one of the things that you can do is Windows, let's see. I think you can find the main changes included in the patch for that day and you click on it. And when you do, I think I already have it in the list, but you can find out all the things it does, what it's supposed to improve, and then some known issues. So when they put these things out, there's already known issues. So you might want to take a look at that as well. When it tells you that you have an update, it will give you the knowledge base or KB with a number, and just look that number up and do a search on Microsoft, and it will bring up all of this information. You can do that before or after you've installed the fix or the update, I should say. And let's see, 3 ways tweak the start menu to improve productivity in Windows 11. Let's take a look at that. Come on, I hit F9. I think. Okay, let's.
So Huey, have you ever had an update that you wanted to eliminate and get rid of that it had installed? You ever tried doing it?
I don't think so.
Or even test it to see if it works?
Nope.
Yeah, I tested it to see if it works. It didn't. It sends you down a rabbit hole you wish you'd never even bothered with.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes it might work. You never know. Obviously, it works for somebody.
Well, it's one of those things like backups.
Yeah.
That's only half the job. You have to make sure you can restore it. A backup you can't restore is no backup at all. Same thing with this thing. It claims to be able to uninstall an update. Well, if it can't, it's not really an update that doesn't work, does it?
Yeah. Okay, 3 ways I tweak the start menu to improve productivity in Windows 11. And this is by somebody. There's this picture. The start menu on Windows 11 isn't designed for the greatest for productivity. However, there are ways this person tweaks the start menu. Okay, moving it. Your first step to improving productivity. Stop retraining your muscle memory. The start menu has been in the left corner forever. Having to retrain yourself to access the centered version, like on mine, it's centered. In Windows 10, it was on the left. The start menu to the left where it belongs. Who says that? You do. The author, not I'm happy. I don't care where it is. Which helps improve productivity, means you don't have to retrain your muscle memory. Add more shortcuts. Access more apps and files. So I've been doing more of this. I've been doing some more shortcuts and and putting them on my desktop or in my taskbar, but your taskbar can get full very quickly. Pin apps to the start menu where they help your productivity the most. Ensure access to your most used apps. So mine, you can have your most used apps. I just pin the things that I want to here. And I've got more in there than I probably should because it's more than one screen. But you'll notice I have Word, PowerPoint, and Excel here in my start menu instead of uh, on my taskbar. And the reason why, it's quicker for me to find it this way and it is to look on the taskbar with all the icons I have on it. So I prefer to just leave it in the start menu. And let's see, make the start menu work for you. And I guess that's the end of that article. So let's see some things that he's done here. Pin to start, more, and you can uninstall it. So there's things that you can do with that start menu. Well, let's go ahead and bring it up again. Let's say I'm looking for something that I don't have on my taskbar. My calculator. If I right click it, I can move it to the front, unpin it from start, so I can take it off the start menu. I can pin it to the taskbar. There's some settings I can do, and I can uninstall it. And then there's standard tasks. So there's some things with the calculator that you can go directly to without having to find a button on it. So if I wanted scientific, I just click that and it put it over on the other screen. And let me just move that. Whoops. Let me move it over. Oh, nuts. There we go. It's now in scientific mode. So otherwise I would have to do this and then tell it, okay, I want back to standard mode, where if I just do it from the start menu, I can go directly to the scientific mode. Let's see what else. The recommended is generally things that you've done recently. And to me, that's clutter. I don't even pay attention to that. And you can change that. You can adjust that in your settings. So under, let's see, settings. This is settings. It's not the startup. It's not the start menu settings. But you can change what you're doing here. And so you might want to look at that recommended more as I had, and I say, you can see that I've been doing several things. Okay, let's go to the next item. How are we doing for time? We're doing good. 10 bad Windows habits you need to break. Now, let's take a look at this. I bet we can find a few that we do that we probably shouldn't. Okay, well, we all have bad habits. On a Windows PC, it's easy to fall into patterns are good enough. They get the job done, but may not be the fastest or easiest way to achieve your goals. 1, clicking to open apps from the start menu. Clicking through the Windows start menu isn't the best way to open apps. That's what we were just showing. I want to come here and I hit Word. They're saying that's not the best way to do it. If you find yourself scrolling through a list of all apps and trying to remember the precise name of a particular application, you're wasting time. Instead, use search. Type the name of an app in the start menu. So if I want, let's say Word, it comes right up and it's there. I don't have to go looking for it. When I click on that, it will open up Word. Let's see, instead of using search, pin applications you use to your taskbar. As you can see, I do a lot of that. Or at least pin them to the top of the start menu so they're easy to access. Consider creating a custom keyboard shortcut for the applications you launch the most. Another thing you can do with your start menu is you can move these around. I can take this and move it here. So if I got one down here, and let's say Evernote, and I want to move it up, I just bring it up here and I can put it right after publisher, and it's there. So it's always on the top line. Okay, digging for folders the slow way in File Explorer. I need to read this carefully because it takes me forever to get to where I want to be. It's easy to find yourself clicking repeatedly through the same folders each time you open File Explorer. Even if you know exactly where to look and are not wondering, where did I put that? The repeated clicks aren't very efficient. Instead, make those important folders easier to access without a lot of clicking. If a folder is important to you, right-click on it in File Explorer and pin to quick access. After that, it will be easily accessible in File Explorer's sidebar. I'm starting to do that. And what does that mean? Let me open up File Explorer, and I'll click it here. And it's over on the other window. So now I have libraries. No, it's under, I got too much here. I need to clean some of this off as well. But I've got some of the folders that I want are right here, and I can just click on them and take me right to the right folder. Because a lot of times what happens is it takes me to my OneDrive folder of the same name, and I don't want that. I want the documents folder. It's on my C drive, which I don't have the same one on my OneDrive. And you can tell because now here in my OneDrive, I've got a whole bunch of these things, and I can tell if it's just got a cloud, it's only a cloud. Sometimes I share it, but if it's got a little check mark in it, that means it's on both.
Did they take
Nope.
this PC out of Windows 11?
No, it's there too. Let me,
Yeah, there it is.
you see it, I don't.
Yeah, it's not there. It was up a little.
Right here, yep, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, if I open that, it's here. Well, I want to find my documents folder. Well, I got two. I got one on OneDrive and
Well,
one
okay,
on my hard
if you
drive.
click that,
So
if
I
you click the
this,
chevron beside this, yeah, there you go.
then I have to go to users. Then I have to go to the user that I use and then find my documents. And then I'm on my local drive. If I don't do that, I end up in my OneDrive documents folder. So I don't
Yeah,
use OneDrive the way Microsoft wants me to use it.
yeah, you got a little bit of setup to do.
Yep. Digging for folders, a slow way File Explorer. I just did that. And it shows you what to do here. Hunting down settings screen by screen. It happens to me too. You find yourself slowly clicking through the settings app, looking for that one particular setting. Where exactly is it? Even if you remember, you may have to click through a variety of screens at one after another. There is a better way. Instead of using the search feature to find settings, just type whatever you're looking for in the search box in the settings app. So go to the settings app, and I did have it on my taskbar, but I don't. But if you go here, there is a search right here. So if you want a mouse setting, you type in mouse, and it'll show you a bunch of mouse settings. So you don't have to start scrolling for each one. Otherwise, you're going through, is it in Bluetooth and devices? Well, yeah, probably there. Devices. Oh, yeah, there's mouse there, and so on. So you got to keep going through menu systems and then find mouse and then input and then keyboard. There's a mouse, and then you got to click on that and see the settings. Where if you just type it into your search box in settings, you'll find it easily. You'll find a whole bunch of choices. Sticking with the default start menu in taskbar. I've seen it over and over. Many people never really customize their taskbar or start menu. That's a huge mistake, and I prefer it. But the default taskbar is often full of pinned apps you don't need, junk from Microsoft and your PC's manufacturer, as in the default start menu. You can make your taskbar and start menu feel more like your own, and you should. To take control, start by unpinning the taskbar icons you don't want. Yeah, that's a good idea, and I think I've done that. Right click on each and unpin from the taskbar. And then in the start menu, do the same thing. So if there's something on my taskbar that I don't want, I can right mouse click on it and unpin it from the taskbar. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom of my screen or not.
Yeah.
And then if you're in your start menu, I don't need Clipchamp. I don't even use it. So I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to unpin it from the start. It's gone. It's still on my machine. If I want to find it, I can. Oh, and another trick, and I usually remind people this, so you may already know it, but if you click on one of these letters, it brings up this type of thing. So we want Clipchamp, it's a C. You click that and it takes you right to the C's. And I don't see Clipchamp here. Okay. So let's do ClipMate. Microsoft ClipChamp is what it's under. Okay.
Yeah, under the letter M.
Yep. And I clicked it, so it's opening. So we'll wait for it to finish opening and then close it. But I don't need it. I don't use it, so I don't need to have it on my start menu. So you might want to clean up your start menu. And then under recommended, I think you can make changes there. I'm not sure where you do that, but you can make changes in what you have.
Another thing that you can do also, Huey, is create little folders. You can take your Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Publisher and put them all in a folder so that they take up only one icon space.
Yeah, but that then gives me an extra step when I want Word.
Yeah, yeah. It all depends upon how much stuff you have pinned.
Yep. And I don't have much, and a lot of these things I don't.
And you
Like this one is
probably,
on my this is on my taskbar, so I probably don't need it here. This is on my taskbar, so I probably don't need it here.
you probably
Uh,
don't have an Xbox either, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that was at the top yeah, there you go. Right there in the bottom left.
Oh yeah, so I can unpin from the start. Yep. So you can clean this up and have it just with the things you really use.
It does actually have some functions in grabbing screens though, with the Xbox functions. So you don't want to uninstall it completely because you'll lose a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
things
All
that
that
you
does
would
is that.
normally need, even though they're not for gaming.
Yeah, but I do use ClipMate, something I've used probably for 20 years. It's still here. Well, let's see. Let me move it over. I've got a video on it because it hasn't been updated in years. But let's see where'd it go now. I moved it and it disappeared on me. Let me find it. It's here. There we go. It's right here. Let me move it up so you can see it. It gives me what my last one was, but I like it because if I want to see a whole bunch, I can just click here and it gives me a whole bunch that I've been using. I can append. So if I want to click on two or three things together, I can click the highlight this with hit the plus, then highlight it, and then highlight another one, and then tell it, and then click it again, and it'll put all three of them in one clip, which I really like. And this one will take it and reparagraph it. So if there's a lot of graphics, notations and stuff in it, it'll take them all out. And there's a whole bunch of other things it does. I've been using this uh, ClipMate for years. I was having some problems with it and stopped using it. But then I went ahead, when I went to this new machine, I installed it. It's been running perfectly since. And as I say, they don't even support it anymore. I think I think you can go to their website and I think they'll even give you the code so you can register it and not have the test version of it for free. And as I say, I did a video on it. It's out on my channel. Manually positioning and resizing windows, copy pasting the tedious way. I do Control C and Control V a lot. But the clipboard history, if you use the clipboard as built into Windows, it does have a history built into it now. But I like this because, again, I'll bring it up here. I can go back and say, okay, let's see. No, that's not what I want to do. Where to go now? I got to bring it, find it again. It's behind everything. Uh, if I click here, I can go back and I can go back and a lot more than the Windows list gives you. So I can go back right now until 5/2, 2nd of May, 9 days ago, and all of the things that I have clicked through are there. Uh, and then you can actually sort by them as well. I like to sort by date and time, so it's the last one is on top. I'll bring it back over here. And bring it down, and let's see. Capturing screenshots the hard way. I do it even easier. I use a program called SnagIt. And SnagIt, I'm not sure what you'll see when I do this, but if I do this, I can then say, okay, I want this part. And say, okay, do the screen capture, and there it is. It's very simple, very easy to use. The other thing I like about you can grab text with it. So let's say it's a picture and this text is there. I can do this. It then grabs the text and I can get it out of a picture, out of a website that I'm on just by doing it through this program. So anyway, enough of that program.
Hewie?
Letting your, yes,
Mary has had her hand up for quite a while.
okay, I don't see those. So let me go ahead and whoops, stop the share. Thank you for letting me know. Mary, go ahead.
The only thing I was going to say, you were talking about your problem with OneDrive rather than putting things right on your computer. What I did was I renamed all the files that or folders I would put on OneDrive to like for documents, I would put 1D dash documents, and then I knew it was going to OneDrive. And I've turned off OneDrive except when I want to actually move something to that drive. I don't do very much on OneDrive, and I use the quick what is it called? The quick access at the top of the list to put the things that I want to have there. So I have pinned documents, downloads, photos, videos, and then I have pinned specific folders that I may want to have quick access to right at the very top, but before it looks down at the rest of the directory. So that's another way of doing that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I will start renaming some of those folders on my OneDrive so I know immediately that I'm looking at
Yeah.
OneDrive and hopefully I can train it to go to the right documents folder. So yeah, thank you for that suggestion. Very good. Okay. Any other comments, questions before we go back? Okay, letting your startup apps pick themselves. And always using the mouse. Use your keyboard sometimes, learn some of the keyboard shortcuts, like F9 when you're on Edge. Thank you very much, Dick, for reminding me. And you'll probably have to remind me again next month. So that's that article. And Microsoft says TPM is worth the upgrade, but is it? And the TPM chip is what you're looking for in a new computer if you can't upgrade yours to Windows 11. This is what the TPM chip apparently looks like. And so that's the feature article this month. So let's take a look at it. And then F9, thank you, Dick. It says Microsoft has recently published a document that attempts to convince Windows 10 users that TPM is worth the upgrade. Windows 11 is quickly making up ground on Windows 10 in market share, but Windows 10 remains the predominant Windows operating system, and Microsoft will not be happy with that situation. Microsoft has always presented TPM as the cornerstone of Windows 11's enhanced security. However, several notable security experts disagree and have stated publicly that the only thing TPM secures is DRM, which is digital rights management, which means you can't download music, some music that you have to pay for, and movies and that sort of thing. Okay, Microsoft's huge mistake. Microsoft has obviously decided that when it comes to upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11, TPM is the major stumbling block for users. However, Microsoft barking up the wrong tree. According to the majority of user complaints regarding Windows 11 requirements, it is the CPU restriction rather than TPM that's preventing the upgrade. Common user comments are along the lines of, I have TPM 2.2 enabled, but still cannot upgrade because my 7th gen CPU is not supported. By introducing requirements that for both TPM and CPUs, Microsoft has created a ridiculous situation. Consider the following. TPM is supported by many 7th generation CPUs. Imposing the TPM requirement alone automatically eliminates any CPUs that do not support TPM from the upgrade path. Consequently, the CPU requirement is redundant, unnecessary, and double dipping. And then it talks a little bit more about TPM. The bottom line, TPM is a source of annoyance for many users, but it's obviously not the main upgrade stumbling block that Microsoft perceives, which in fact is the totally unnecessary CPU limitation. As usual, your thoughts, they want comments back.
There's a video that Dave did on Dave's Garage. I don't know if you know him but he talks about the TPM, and according to him, the TPM will essentially eliminate the chances of ransomware because it does all the encryption encoding stuff on the hardware rather than the software, which can't be hacked.
Does that mean if you have a TPM chip and that you won't get bitten by ransomware?
That's right. If you've got it set up properly, yeah. The TPM won't allow encryption to go along without its use.
Did
So
not know
unless
that.
somebody, and I mean, you can't hack a piece of hardware. That's why they've introduced it.
Okay, thank you. Whoops,
Actually, I'll see if I can find the video for it and put the link in the
okay.
chat.
I started to show you something and I wasn't sharing, so let's come back here. Let's see, close this. And there we go. So you should be seeing my list again. Latest Microsoft Windows update problems and how to fix them. Well, let's see what they say are the latest problems. F9, thank you, Dick. Windows 10 and Windows 11 have had their share of problems. According to the Microsoft Security Response Center, MSRC, the operating system experienced 1,394 security vulnerabilities in 2024. That's all? Microsoft quickly moves in to fix many of these security holes in the system, so it's essential to stay up to date. Yet Windows updates can bring their own problems. This guide shows you what to do when an update does more harm than good. Note, if a problem here is marked fixed, that means Microsoft has rolled out an update that fixes the problem. And the solution is simply to make sure your system is fully updated. So if the problem is not yet fixed, then either read for that entry for workarounds to that specific problem, or scroll down the page for advice on how to roll back updates. So this might be a good article, Mike, for you to have handy when you're helping people. This one is not fixed from the April 25th update. There hasn't been an update since then. This was a cumulative update, and it's knowledge base 5055627. The problems file, Explorer bugs, display and resolution problems, if potentially hackable, inet pub folder, and Windows Hello feature failures. And so it explains a little bit about it. However, other Windows 11 devices also have received exciting new features, such as the Ask Copilot, which is now becoming an integral part of the Windows experience, Windows 11 experience. And so they show you what you need to do. And while this update should be trouble-free for most, it inevitably will hit one of us. And it's usually me, and it's probably usually you. Users have reported glitches in authenticating themselves in Windows Hello, and so on. There's another one not fixed from April 8th. Let's see. And it doesn't say it was fixed since then. In case you run into the blue screen of death, the BSOD with the update, you can resolve it by using one of our tried and tested fixes, and they give you fixes. So again, this is a good place to look for things, is in the knowledge base and the update information. And then this one was fixed with an update, so you can see if you have those problems because you didn't update. This might tell you how to fix it, and so on. And I'm only part way down the page. So good place to bookmark and go back to and read that article. Microsoft urges users to ditch Windows 10 for 11 because it's better in 7 ways. Let's see what the 7 ways are. What I hit wrong here. Hit the wrong F key? No. Now let's do it. Oh, I see. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Latest Windows. There we go. Now we can do it. In about 187 days, Windows 10 support ends. And this was from, it doesn't give me the date here, but recently. With those unsupported PCs, we'll see full screen banners to recycle their PCs and buy Windows 11. Why should you get Windows 11? In a new document, Microsoft has listed 7 reasons. Let's see if we can find what those 7 are. Here they are. New start menu. Well, is that a must? I wouldn't say so. Snap layouts. I like that. Multiple desktops. I never use that because I have multiple monitors. Widgets board. I don't use widgets. Focus sessions. Microsoft says you can stay productive and focused with focus sessions in the Clock app, which integrates To Do and Spotify. So I don't use that. The Windows Hello and Windows 11 is significantly better, and there's no denying it. The Windows Hello is using your fingerprint or your facial recognition to sign in, or I think also the PIN is part of Windows Hello, but I don't have a laptop to use those with, so I don't use that. And better dark mode, I don't even like dark mode. So for the most part, I might as well have stayed on Windows 10. But according to Microsoft, those are things that are important and why you should go ahead. Now, I expect Microsoft to do more documentation and videos to encourage Windows 11 adoption. But if you don't want to upgrade, you can pay $30 and keep using Windows 10 securely for another year. So is it worth the $30 for you? It might save you buying a new computer, number one. And number two, a year from now, you may find the computers that you want to upgrade to would be much better than the ones that are out there now. So for $30, you can save several $100s by not buying a new computer. We doing for time? We're doing good. Ultimate guide for multiple monitors. Okay, I have multiple monitors, and so I thought some of you who want to have two monitors or are using them, this would be a good article to read. And just to show you, let's see, I'm sharing the screen. Let's go ahead, stop the share, and then share again. But this time I am going to share both screens. How to select two desktop. No, okay. Entire screen. I think there's a way to do both. But I'm just going to share the second screen right now so you probably see the second screen. I don't know, but I'm guessing you do. And I'll stop the share and then come back to share. I don't know if that worked or not. Anyone tell me yes, no?
Yes, it
Okay.
did.
Okay, so I have two monitors, both I think they're 24 or 26 inches each, and one's curved and I have them perpendicular, so it kind of is in a semicircle. So let's see where we're at here. And that article tells you how to set up multiple screens if you want. The ultimate guide to using multiple monitor, that's the one. And then don't miss these 8 underrated Microsoft Copilot features. Now, if you're not using Copilot or ChatGPT or one of the other AIs, you probably ought to think about testing it. Oh, I got the wrong one here. Let's see. No, I did it again. I have a program that opens up a second window, and that's not what I want. I want this. There we go. And then F9. There we go. Designed with the uninitiated in mind, Microsoft has added a whistle-stop tour to the Copilot app in preview builds. The guide was spotted by somebody, and let's see, do they have a button for it? Or did they just say that? I guess they're just saying that there is one available for you, but it doesn't have a link to it. No. That's a wasted article. Sorry about that. And the title sounded good. Here's 8 underrated Copilot features. Let's take a look at this. This might be more useful. File uploads. To make your AI prompt more effective, you need to provide software with as much context as possible. Instead of adding more text, consider uploading relevant files and folders. And so it shows you here, you hit the plus, and it's asking you, Copilot can easily upload PDF documents and JPEG images. The software can then scan these and provide overviews. I use ChatGPT more than I use Copilot, and I had an instance where, let me bring up ChatGPT, and I hit the plus, and it just said, add photos and files. And I uploaded a PowerPoint, and I said, give me a good introduction to this PowerPoint, and it gave me the text for it. So you can't upload a PowerPoint to Copilot, but you can to ChatGPT. But if you've got a picture and you want them to, well, I want a paragraph explaining this picture and see what it does. Shortcutting future prompts. Write the same prompt over and over again becomes time consuming. Luckily, Copilot has a way to stop this from becoming a problem. Once you've fed Copilot enough information, you can give 1 or 2 word prompts. For instance, if you like creating lists, you can go tell Pilot list and then provide what is needed to be included. And it'll go back into your previous prompts and pages and list things for you. Another thing I've done is I'm making a video of how I do this in ChatGPT, but I asked it, I want it to give me a 15 news articles, tech news articles every day. Well, I went through and asked it how to set that up. And then I also want to access that with a 1 word prompt. And it told me which one, it asked me which one I want to use. I said tech news. So all I have to do is type in tech news in ChatGPT and I'll get 15 articles. And I'm going to do I have all of the screen captures and everything. I'm going to be doing a video for Tech for Senior on that, and then it will be posted on my YouTube channel as well. Creating tables. Use Copilot to create a table. One of the best ways to integrate the tool is with other Microsoft apps. Using Copilot to create these kind of tables saves you a lot of time. You can use this feature in any table you might need to create within Copilot. You can find an option to summarize the data in your spreadsheet. While this feature will simplify summarization, you can still double check to ensure everything is accurate. And I've done that. I'll say, give me 5 columns, 4 rows with the following information, and it creates columns and rows for me, and I'm able to use it. Summarizing lengthy texts. If you've got a long PDF article and you just want to tell somebody about it and then give them a link, say, give me 2 or 3 sentences or give me a paragraph that summarizes this article, and then drop that into an email with a link. So somebody, if you just drop a link into an email, people are less likely to click on it just to find out what you're telling them. But if you give them a summary of it, it might entice them if it's something they're interested in. The revisit previous conversations is the big difference between ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot is how you access old conversations. In ChatGPT, you'll see all of these in the left-hand toolbar. However, with Copilot, you need to click the clock, and I did a little video on that, I believe, on how to get to that. Once you've clicked on this icon, you'll see a list of your previous conversations. Post-meeting follow-up emails, and you can do that. It tells you how to do it. PowerPoint slide generation. I found ChatGPT does a better job than even Copilot, which is from Microsoft, to create a PowerPoint slide generation. But I'll give it an article of what I want, or I'll give it a prompt of what I'm looking for. I said, give me slides in PowerPoint, and then it gives me a list of all the slides and what should go on them. And I said, make it into a PowerPoint. It'll do so, and then it'll say, okay, download the PPTX file. So it is really neat. Then you can go in and edit it like any other PowerPoint. And then brainstorming. You can get better results when brainstorming with ChatGPT. But if you didn't want to use a different AI chatbot, Copilot is also quite effective in this area. This tool allows you to prepare for exams, actualize your big creative ideas, prepare for a job interview. And mind mapping with Copilot is more difficult, and Copilot has plenty of underrated tools to help you with all kinds of projects. So utilize Copilot and ChatGPT and Perspective AI and Claude, and try different ones to try to get the right thing that you want. And if you're interested in all of that, my Let's Talk AI on the fourth Friday of every month is something you might want to join, and drop me an email if you're not already on the list, and I'll add you to the list. And let me go ahead and stop the share. Any comments, questions? Just
Yeah,
go
with
ahead, Drew.
regard to Copilot, I saw my brother-in-law a couple of days ago, and he told me how he was building a spreadsheet with a lot of formulas, and there was an error somewhere in one of the formulas in his calculations, and he had spent a whole day almost trying to figure out where it was and couldn't figure it out. So I said, you have Office 365 subscription with Copilot. Use the Copilot that's inside Excel and ask it to find the formula that's got the problem. And he solved the problem in about 15 minutes later.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with these. If you think about it, a lot of us, just getting started is a hard part of, what do I want? What do I want to ask it? What do I want to do? But when you start running into problems, or when you say, gee, I need to ask Huey how I do this. Well, don't ask Huey, ask ChatGPT or Copilot. And you may not have to ask me. I may become useless. But I'm doing it all the time. When somebody sends me an email, how do I do this? If I don't know, I'll go to Chat GPT or Copilot, or I'm sorry, Copilot or Chat GPT, and I'll ask the same question and see what answer I get. If it's a good answer, I'll copy and paste it back into an email and say, try this. And so they could do that without me. Mike, you're playing a lot with testing different things with AI, and you're finding a lot of things that can do for you.
I recently had our home air quality tested, and you get a report from their lab, probably 8 to 10 pages, a lot of text, a lot of scientific terms, and some charts and graphs. And I just uploaded it. I've uploaded it to ChatGPT, and also to verify, I uploaded it to Copilot. And I merely said, I'm a layman. Please interpret this information to let me know what the air quality in my home is. And I got an excellent set of paragraphs with bullets and important points. And I had done this back in 2019 with the same vendor, and I had the old 2019 ones. So the best continuity was actually with Copilot. I just said to Copilot, okay, now that you've given me my current results, I'm uploading the results from 2019. Please compare these and tell me whether my air quality has increased, decreased, and what the significant differences were. And it gave me all the answers I needed. I didn't have to worry. Actually, our air quality is a lot better than it was back in 2019.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do comparing things that are very difficult to compare just by looking at, and it'll do it for you, and it does it in minutes or seconds.
Well, I remember back when AI had started and you were doing some things for Tech for Senior, and we were having some Thursday discussions on this. And at the time, we were all saying, this is just a large language model. And we'd say, well, how's it doing all this? Well, it's comparing this subject and this predicate and seeing how this word connects to that word. And then it analyzes what's in the sentence, and it analyzes what's in the paragraph, and it puts it all together. And I'm thinking now, today, it's doing an awful lot more than that. It's analyzing databases, and it's getting this information, and it's got to have some kind of an engine that's analytically analyzing from your prompt what's in this massive database that it's accumulated. It's much more than just translating our sentences into logic.
Yeah, it really is. It's scary, but it's amazing, and it's unique. And I wish I wasn't as old as I am, because I'd like to see where it's heading. But you have to remember that all of this AI became popular and became a part of our lives. AI has been around for many, many decades, but it became prominent in everyday life November of 2022 when ChatGPT was released. That's all.
Yep.
Just it's not 3 years ago. And all of this has changed. Everything has changed since then. So just amazing what it can do and what it's going to be doing.
Was there an
Uh,
official date when anything passed the Turing test?
That's when an AI is supposed to become sentient. And the real
Well, no,
question
it's
is,
when you can talk to a chat bot and not know whether it's
right,
a real person or a real machine.
right. But the
and
question is, will we really know? Will we know that what we're seeing is not coming from a sentient AI? The AI may say, hey, yeah, I'm sentient, but will we know? Because they'll exceed the Turing test.
You'll have to ask it a question like, what was your mother's maiden name?
Yeah, and it'll say something about the necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, that's the one. You ask it about that, and it'll ask you how your mother is.
okay, I'm final share my screen. Let's see where we are. We aren't going to get to everything, obviously.
You can cover a few more because I don't have a long presentation.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Microsoft is updating the Copilot app with introductory tutorial for newbies. Microsoft is creating uh, free tutorials, and so is Google. Microsoft's. I looked at some of the titles. Some of them are for more advanced people than most of us, and they're talking about on the programming level and coding level and so on. But the Google ones look like very promising. How to enable sandbox in Windows 11 step-by-step guide is an article if you're interested in that. Sandbox is where you can test programs and it won't, if it bombs or does something, it won't affect your computer itself.
Yeah, it sets
Uh,
up a virtual machine.
Right. And
uh,
sandboxing is only available in Pro, not in Home.
okay, that's good to know. Okay, and if you use Outlook, they've pretty much forced you to probably go to the new Outlook. And sometimes you can go back to the classic if you want, but you can go back and forth, but you can't do them both at the same time. They're going to change that. And you're going to be able to log into the new Outlook or into the old Outlook. The same information is going to be there. It's just a different way of presenting it. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what it says about that. And F9, thank you, Dick. Since last year, Microsoft has been pushing users to move from the classic Outlook to the new Outlook. And until now, when you switch from classic to new, the only way to use the classic again is completely switch back. Starting in mid-May this month, when you switch back to classic Outlook, new Outlook will simply minimize to the taskbar with suppressed notifications and reminders while launching a separate instance of the classic Outlook. Starting early in June, you won't have to switch back at all. You can simply open Classic Outlook alongside the new Outlook. I think that's a big advancement. So I'm looking forward to that. I use Outlook. Microsoft CEO says 30% of the company's code was written by AI. So Microsoft really is into this AI and they're using it for coding their languages and what they do. 30% of it is done by AI. What's a proxy server and should you use one is an article if proxy server is a term that you wonder about, you might want to read that article. And then how does Wi-Fi work? It's just we'll do this for the last one, F9. Wi-Fi uses radio waves to connect your devices to the internet wirelessly. It's what allows you to use your smart TV to watch Netflix or your laptop to make video calls without needing a cable between your device and your router. and then it tells you how it works. In simplified terms, actually, quite well done. Not too deep, and so it might give you an idea. And then 5 rules for setting up a great Wi-Fi network at home. Where to put your router. Uh, Give it some space, let it get air. Upgrade your router. Watch which devices you connect to your network and make sure your internet connection can support your Wi-Fi dreams. So, with that, I am going to stop the share. Any comments or questions before we say goodbye to WinSig and hello to CFCS and way to keep notes? This is going to be an interesting new meeting right after this, so hang in there. Stephen?
Yeah, just a quick question. For people that are keeping their Windows 10 going, that $30, is that per machine if you have more than one Windows 10 machine, or do you have any idea? I looked it up on a website and they didn't say how that worked.
Somebody want to do a quick Copilot and look it up and see what it says?
Yeah, I didn't do Copilot, but I just,
Chances are it's
Yeah.
going to be per machine because
Yeah.
they're authorized with a license code.
Right.
It's probably per license.
Yeah, per license.
I can't imagine it would not be for anything, I mean, that it would have to be for individual machines. It couldn't be for everything in your home.
well, if you're a school or something like that, I did see there's another choice
That's an enterprise type
for
license.
enterprise. Yeah.
Di, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question. That article you had about dual screens. I'll go back and read it, but does it explain how to do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and my other question was, I've always wanted to do that, and but I'm not sure I have room. And so, what is the real purpose of that advantage?
The biggest thing I like about it is I can be on a Zoom call and be seeing everything that's on the Zoom call. And on the other screen, I got a list of the participants. I got the chat open up, and then I can also keep a text box open where I got some notes. I can go to a calendar. I can check my email in that other window, the other monitor. I can do
Okay,
all
well,
kinds of things. Yeah.
yeah, that just makes it easier. I kind of do that now on one big screen, so making my windows smaller, but okay, thank you.
There's also
There's another advantage to it as well, as if you've got two
Okay,
very different monitors, one that's mainly made for movies and another one that's mainly made for viewing text. That's a good reason for having two separate monitors.
okay, thank you.
Or you could actually have another monitor that's vertical if you wanted to read text in a vertical.
if you're doing a lot of
screen.
Word documents and that sort of thing. I did see this week on Amazon a 3 monitor foldable portable thing that you hook up to your laptop, and you can end up with 4 screens and then fold it up when you're done with it. And it looked and
Thanks.
that would be neat. If I used a laptop, I'd probably want one of those.
So how do
J-
you do that? How do you move things from one monitor to the next? Does that just
I-
work with your mouse?
Yeah, you have there's a setup that you can do and tell what items will be on what screen, and
Yeah,
I
you
can
just
actually
you right click on your desktop and you go to customize displays, and then you can
Oh,
it'll
okay.
show you the boxes for your monitors, and you can detect them. It'll give you a 1 for your main one, a 2 for your secondary, and you can move them around to show which, so that you slide off one and it comes up on the other.
yeah. Right now I have Notepad open on my screen too. I'm just going to slide it over. Oh, you can't see that because I'm not sharing. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sharing, and I can now take that and drag it onto the screen. So now it's on screen one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it.
Okay,
Okay.
now I can
So
just
you're
slide it
drag
off,
Yeah.
and now it's on screen two.
Huh.
So if I want it right in front of me, it's there. If I just want it to the side so I can refer to it, it's off to the side.
Okay, and where'd you see that folding screen? Was that Amazon?
I believe it was Amazon. I'll see if I can find it again, and I'll somehow get it
Okay, well,
posted.
I've got a Windows desktop, but I think I'm gonna get a Windows 11 laptop, so for the other room. That'd be neat. Thank you.
Okay, John, you have your hand up, and then Tom, and then we'll end this session and start the CFCS meeting. Go ahead, Tom. Or I'm sorry, who was it? He
Tom Hirsch.
turned off. Okay, yeah, but Tom, you were second. Somebody else had their hand up.
Yeah, John was there, but he disappeared. He may have ended the call or got cut off.
Yeah.
I had
so
my hand up. I had
here
my
I am.
hand
I'm
up, but
sorry.
I lowered it because you had already answered the question.
Yeah, John is here. Go ahead, John.
I'm sorry, I have myself muted anyway. It's been very informative. Thank you, Huey. A little clarification on the TPM. Is that actually a piece of hardware
Yes,
that's installed on a Windows 10 computer? Is that
it
a
has
work?
nothing to do with Windows 10. It's to do with the hardware. AMD also makes one called a PSP, which does essentially the same job.
I see.
But the ridiculous thing is that on the ASUS systems, by default, it's turned off. So a lot of people actually do have a TPM or a PSP and don't know it's there unless you go in and you check your BIOS and turn it on to enable it, and then Windows 10 will detect it.
I got you. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially what it does is, when you go to a website and you're doing encryption, well, the encryption is all software generated. Well, with the TPM and the PSP, that encryption is hardware generated. So it's virtually impossible to hack the hardware, but the software can be hacked.
Yeah.
That's where it'll improve payment of bank account and shopping and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Do new computers come with the TPM?
Most of the ones that are made within the last few years are, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Tom, your question, and that'll bring us to an end.
Okay, yeah, just a comment and then a question. Diane's question about the dual monitors. I do a lot of genealogy work, and having two monitors is extremely valuable, saves a lot of time. I can put a birth certificate, death certificate, old newspaper article or something on one monitor, and and while I'm watching that, then if I'm posting information online like ancestry.com, family search or something, I can just type that information in there directly. I don't have to constantly minimize and switch between screens, so it saves a tremendous amount of time. The other is the Windows 10, 11. I have uh, machines doing both, and one important piece of software that I have, the 2018 version of it is far superior to the current version. But the 2018 version will not run on Windows 11. So I have an HP ZBook, which is capable of running Windows 11, but I deliberately kept it on Windows 10 because if it upgrades to 11, my good software will no longer function. So if I set it for manual updates to Windows only, and I don't update, I guess the latest version of Windows 11, how can I prevent Windows 11 from automatically taking over that machine?
You may not be.
If you go to Steve Gibson's site, grc.com, he's got a program in there. I think it's called In Control or something like that. It does registry hacks, and it'll prevent updates from happening automatically.
And there was a Never 10 a few years ago, which prevented your Windows 7 and 8 computers from upgrading to Windows 10. And I don't know if anyone has any plans to generate that kind of software.
I think that's what Steve's talking about. It's
And this has been the Central Florida Computer Society and Sarasota Technology User Group meeting for May 11th, 2025. I'm Hewie Poplock, and we've had some great discussions. And thank you for joining. We do it again next month, the second Sunday of the month. And thank you very much.